What's really good, fam? So I've spent the past couple of years talking about investing with a particular focus on specific companies, but I do realize that there are a lot of people out there who are simply not interested in becoming stock analysts in their free time. So today I want to talk about the absolute easiest way of investing in the Korean stock market for those who just want to put their money somewhere and never have to touch it or think about it. You're watching Sekki들, and today we're talking about total return index ETFs in an episode I'm calling Investing on Easy. Now before we continue, I'd just like to remind you that this channel is meant for general education purposes only and isn't meant to replace the legal or financial advice from a paid professional. When it comes to investments, it's always healthy to take everything with a fair bit of skepticism regardless of the source, and that includes us. So for that reason, nothing we say here should be taken as a basis for investment, and you'll have to do your own work and thinking before deciding whether taking up a position on any stock mentioned here is in your best interest. Want to know how? Well, if you scroll down a tiny bit and hit the like and subscribe buttons, we'll do our best to help you figure out how to figure out this game for yourself. And with that being said, let's get to it. Alright, so if you don't know what an index fund is or what ETFs are, we've got a couple videos that'll help you figure out what those mean, and you can click either of them in the top right hand corner of your screen right now. But as a really quick refresher, index funds are basically just bank products that sell you a package of stocks based around a given market. Now some index funds like the Kospi 200 index funds track a very specific group of stocks. In this case, it would be the 200 biggest stocks on the Kospi. Others, like large or mid-cap stocks, only buy stocks of a certain size threshold. In any case, they're all different from traditional funds, as index funds buy based on algorithms and they don't really have any actual human interaction being done to buy or sell any of the stocks within those baskets. It makes them cheaper to buy since the fees are a lot lower. ETFs are really just funds that you can buy and sell like a stock, though they operate the same as traditional funds as well. Thus, ETF index funds are index funds that you can buy and sell on the market as if it were a stock, which aim to mirror the performance of a specific part of the stock market, usually the top 200 in the case of Korea, or the top 150 if we're talking about the Kosdaq. Generally, ETFs have lower fees and lower barriers for entry or exit than traditional funds. But if you do want to know a little bit more about what I'm talking about, you can click on either of the videos that I linked in the top right hand corner. But let's get into what we're talking about today. What exactly is the TR denomination, and how does that make it any different from a standard index ETF? Alright, so standard index ETFs, like the Hanro EBEC, the Tiger EBEC, and the KB Star EBEC, to name a few, all buy and sell stocks restricted to the top 200 companies in the Republic of Korea. Every few months, all the dividends from the companies within those baskets of stocks are collected and distributed to any owners of those ETFs. For example, on August 2nd, I got 4,200 won from my Hanro EBEC holdings since I have 56 shares in the ETF. Now naturally, this isn't much of a payout, but I don't own that much anyways, so those few shekels will just have to sit in my account until I have something better to buy. This is actually kind of unideal because standard wisdom on investing states that any dividends you receive from owning a stock or a fund should be rolled back into that stock or fund. That way your interest can compound and continue to grow. However, with the EBEC 200 sitting at over 32,000 won per share, it's obviously not possible to do that with a dividend payout of only 4,200. Now, in the States and in other markets, companies have developed a relatively effective way of getting around this issue through the sale of either fractional shares or something called the Direct Reinvestment Program or DRIP program. But with the absence of such programs in Korea, it kind of leaves us no use for amounts too small to buy new stock in that same ETF. Thus, even if you're out there not caring about stock investing too much and just dollar cost averaging into an index, aka spending the same amount of money every month on the index of your choice regardless of the price, you may be left with some money doing nothing while you wait for your change to add up. Luckily though, we do have TR indices. Now the TR stands for total return, and the value of these funds is a little bit different because of how they're calculated. Basically, these funds consider the value of the dividends paid out by each company and then consider their reinvestment value since the funds don't actually pay those dividends out to the holders of those funds. Thus, TR funds trade at higher prices than traditional index funds because the value of the holdings are higher because they continue to reinvest those dividends. Additionally, since you don't get a dividend, your returns aren't taxed, so they just roll on without you ever having to pay taxes on them. Naturally, any decision to reinvest dividends would also incur fees from your broker, which are also eliminated in this TR fund. Thus, for someone who's planning to be here long term and who wants to see their investments grow without ever having to really account for reinvesting their dividend payouts themselves, TR funds are really probably the best way that I found to ensure that your fees are as small as possible, and the financial janitorial work and upkeep associated with maintaining your investment portfolio as small as possible. Now, another low upkeep way of investing is to simply sign up for a mutual fund provided by your bank, since you can just set them to automatically withdraw from your account on a set day at each month, and you don't have to consider any minimum price requirements or maintenance on them. But you generally be subjecting yourself to increased fees and subpar gains in the long term. However, if you consider it a worthwhile price for not having to worry about anything other than depositing your money every month, then standard mutual fund fees may actually be good for you. Personally, I'm of the basic belief that most people want to pay as little as possible for similar services, so I'm much more for index TR ETFs than standard mutual funds or even standard index ETFs. Ultimately, there are numerous benefits to buying into ETFs regardless of whichever one you choose, and that includes both total return and non-total returns. However, I personally think that for those of you out there who really don't want to even have to look at your account and just really want a dollar cost average as much as possible, total return funds are probably the easiest because, again, you don't have to worry about whatever few shekels they throw your way or the fees that are associated with both receiving and then reinvesting them. Now, if you are into index investing, then we do have another video on how you can check out the difference between fees, and this goes for both total return funds and normal funds. If you want to see that, click in the top right hand corner right now, because probably one of the best and easiest free tools that you have to sort through which index ETF you want is on Naver Commune. Additionally, if you're out there trading these ETFs, which again is probably not who is going to be watching these videos, because realistically, those who are trading these index ETFs on the daily are not likely to be looking at long-term funds like TRs that are not even leveraged. But if you do care about whether or not you can buy in and out a lot faster, it's better to look for those bigger funds, because that means they usually have higher liquidity and that makes it easier to buy and sell out on a given day. However, this video is really about putting everything on easy mode for people who are generally not going to be trading, so that's probably not you. Alright, that's it for me. I've got a few more in the pipe. I'll try to drop them as soon as possible, but otherwise, I really appreciate you guys being here. There are a few of you who are new, more than a few of you actually, but I really do appreciate you guys being with us, and I really do hope that I'm continuing to add value to your stay and your life here in the Republic of Korea. Alright fam, stay tight. I'll see you soon. Be easy. Peace.